In this video, we're going to show how to make a little paper lantern using photo paper and some off-the-shelf LEDs and some CircuitScribe electronic ink. So the way this works is that I've actually cut this pattern using a Silhouette Cameo paper cutter. It's a computer-controlled CNC paper cutter. It can cut other materials as well. And to actually create the punches, I had the blade on the Cameo set at a 3, which cuts to about 0.3 millimeters, and I had it cut at some very high pressure or thickness on the software. And the reason why is because the photo paper, even though it's thin, is very, very tough, and so you need the blade to actually cut with a lot of pressure. The second thing is I actually had the machine do some scoring as well, some light scores, so that I can actually bend this into a lantern. So I did print a pattern. You notice that my printing was slightly off from the cutting pattern. And this pattern here shows the circuits and the various contacts and traces that I'm going to use to wire up the lantern. So eventually what we're going to do is we're going to fold the lantern into 4, like this, into 4 sides, and tape it together. But for now, the first step is to kind of like plan out where the circuits are going to go and fill in the traces. So what I had here, and this one says D2 even though it got cut off, that's actually going to be an input from a microcontroller like an Arduino, and it's going to lead across an LED down to a common ground over on this side. And then there's another LED coming from that's being supplied by a D1 input from the same microcontroller. And you'll notice the LEDs are actually facing different directions because LEDs are polarized so that the current only flows in one direction through the LED. Now, what I've done here is I've made an outline for these large traces. So what I'm going to do is fill in the traces with the CircuitScribe conductive ink. And notice that the traces are actually pretty thick. First of all, I've got these largish square pads where I'm going to attach the LEDs. And the channels that I'm filling in are traces, and the reason why they're thick is that it's a lot like high gauge wire. You get better conductivity and less resistance if you have very, very high gauge wire. So the deal with the CircuitScribe ink is that it's really good at conducting electricity, but it's not a perfect conductor, and any breaks in the ink can break conductivity, so it's best to have a pretty wide trace. Now, I am inscribing this on the shiny side of the photo paper. The back of the photo paper just isn't that absorbent unless you have a ballpoint pen. And so for this, I really do want to make sure that I am putting the traces onto the back side or onto the shiny side of the paper. You'll notice that when this is folded up, it's going to say TACC, or Texas Advanced Computing Center, on the outside of this. And if you wanted to change like the pattern so that you could actually see the electronics, you could do that, but it's going to be difficult to get the LEDs behind there. And there's a little trick that I can show you for doing that later on if you want to. But for now, all I'm going to do is fill in the traces, and then I actually have to let the ink dry. The ink takes about 10 minutes to dry completely before we can continue working on it. So that's the first step, and I'm going to pause the video and we're going to come back